chapter 13 of book 2 of the Golden Hours. If you're a beginner, it's probably a bit over your head, and if you're an expert, you probably have no trouble with it, and you wouldn't be here. So ad haec to these things, Milo, our nominative, inquit said, and he's doing this adjective or present participle, he's renidens, which means he's smiling or laughing while he says it. Qua corporis habitudine praedatus. This means that what you're gifted with or what you're provided with. So what habitude, what does it look like? Qua is female, going with the habitudini. So what type of body is he provided with, or does he have? Quo ve is the enclitic for or by quo nomine, by which name is he nuncapatus, is he called? Isti Chaldeus, this Chaldeus guy. What type of body does he have? Or what is he called? This Chaldeus is a place where he's from, so he's a Chaldean. And heck, that's showing that he's someone that he knows as well. So this here guy, Isti, this Chaldean guy, what type of body does he have and what's his name? Procurus inquam. So I said he's procurus, he's tall. And Safulscus. If we take the SUF off, we can look at Fusculus. Fuscus is dark, so this is a diminutive of dark. He's a little dark with a compound in front. And he goes by the name of Diaphanes, which is something to do with Zeus and enlightenment or something in Greek. Then we have another quote, and another quote says, Ipsi est, and he said, so inquams, Lucius speaking in the first person, and the person he's speaking to is, he says himself, and null allus ales, and he's none other. So this is him and no other. Nam, for, and also, hic, him or here, apud nostra, amongst us, multa, that'd be the adverb, so many things, similita, that's another adverb, similarly he has said much, Iphatus means he has spoken. If you just look at the FATUS, you see it's the past passive version. And multus, too many people, he has spoke much, similarly. And not parva stipes, not with a small stipend or income or how much money he's gathered. Imo again, making something more precise, so it can be contrarily or it could be even affirming. Vero, but opimus mercedes. Opimus means fat, so he's made fat money, fat profits. Yam. If it's in the past, it means it's already. If it's in the present, it means now. Consecutus, so in the following, and now following this already or now, scavam fortuna, it's left-handedness of fate. So there's some evil fate, basically is what it's saying, and means or if dixeram veris, or if I'm to say more truthfully, that's a comparative, he fell into something savage of fate. So it's left-handed fate or elopement fate or the savagery of fate. This wretch has fell into or come into. Nam, for a da qua going with the da, and we know quadam's a demonstrative pronoun. So, for on certain day, cum frequentis populo circuli, I think this could be dative here, frequentus means it's crowded, to a crowded circle of people, he was conceptus, means he was hedged in, and looks like donorate. He was giving fates or prophecies to the people who were circling him, and he was surrounded by a corona in a ring. That he was hedged in a ring of those present participling, those people who were standing, and Kirkham around. He spoke of fate to this circle of people. And another quidam, it's the same sort of pronoun as that. So it's a certain curdo, by name, nomine, a negotio, a businessman. It's an apposition with this. He accosted him, he went up to him. He was a commodum diem, it's a suitable day, cupiens, he was desiring. It's a present participle adjective looking thing in the nominative singular. He was looking for some appropriate day for peregrination to travel abroad. Quem, whom, cum electum, when he had chosen, illy here is the pronoun for he in the first person, so he versus him in the accusative. So he had destinated him, so he'd chose out this which he had chosen, so he'd determined what day this would be, and yam, so we've got already, we deposited from his crumina, that's like a marsupium, it's like a purse or a wallet, yam again. Now with the profusus numulus, with the money flowed out, or profusus, come out from this wallet, and now dinumeratus, having been counted out, centum denarium, 100 denaries, quos, which he would offer it, he would use or bring out for the mercadem, for his payment of the divination, for the prophecy. And interjection, eki, look, a quidam, another pronoun, a certain person, an adolescent, a very young man, looks diminutive as you can tell, from the nobilibus, so he must have been from a good family, a tergo, from behind, he ad repens, he grabbed eum, and he prended him. He was latching onto him by his licinia in the ablative, and conversum in the accusative, and so the accusative man was turned around, he was amplexus by the nominative, which means hugged, and he was exosculated, so he was kissed and hugged, artissime, the superlative, very narrowly, very tightly. Okay. At illi, but he, ubi, when, primum, consaviatus. So this is again is like Basius and osculating. He's the kissing. So first, eum juxtum. Juxtum's a tim adverb. But so off we go from the beginning. But he, when he had first kissed him and he was close by, juxtum means close by him, he affected it, ut that he would sit, say that he would sit next to him. So he kissed him, sat down close to him. Atonitus means he was astonished, and repetine visionis, by the suddenness of his seeing him, he was astonished again, atonitus, in a stupor, which is a little bit stunned or confused by suddenly seeing this guy come up and was kissing him. And presentis negote, so the present business, quod gerabat, which he was conducting, gerabating, he was oblitus of it, which is probably why we've got this is there and the II there. He became oblitus of these things which he was doing, and he infit, so he's confessing or speaking ad eam to him. Okay, so it's in the quotes here. Quam olum equidem, about 90% of the time it's used for the first person. So, ex optatus. So what I was hoping for once at some time, ad Venice nobis. So that's what the quam's about. So which I was hoping for olum for a long time, you might even want to say, you've come to us. And responded ad haec, so he responded to these things, illi alias, the other person said, commodum, we'll take that as the adverb for just when vesper oriente, so just as twilight or nighttime was coming on, said vicessim, but in turn, to quoque, you also in turn, brother, memora, it's an imperative, speak, taking the dative, to me, tell me, quam ad modum, it goes together, they've split it into three here, it's like it's asking a question. So exindi, so then afterwards, as dub insula festinus, so festinus means in a hurry, you have navigated, you have sailed away from Eboa, the island. So he's asking quem ad modum, tell me what happened afterwards. You sailed away in a hurry in the festinus, and you conficerus, you completed your journey et and et are correlatives, both by sea and of the road. So he still say, this goes with the memora, but so keep telling me what happened when you sailed away from this island and you completed your journey on the sea, and what happened along the way, basically, or by a road. 14. At Hake, to these things, Diophanes, he, Ili, egregious, which means rather special, Chaldean, so Diophanes, this special or famous Chaldean, who was nekdom. He was not yet mente in his mind, suis vidus. This usually means he's bereft of, or widowed even, but so he's not yet bereft of his mind. I'd say the meaning here from other translations is he's not back in his mind, which is a bit strange anyway. He inquired, he said, hostes, the enemies, et omnes inimici, and all our, so enemies and all those hostile to us, nostri, tam dire, so dire, imo vera, or but more precisely even stronger than more dire. I would think that they had fallen into or had some eulixing. This is from the Odyssey, perenigration. So it's basically this voyage was some great adventure. Perenigration again means it's from overseas. I might actually look up Vitus for the word. Okay, so I've had to go to the Lewis and Short Dictionary, which is probably the most comprehensive thing. I've got a hard copy of it. It's rather thick. It would have to be in the deprived or bereft of, destitute or without anything. So when it would be without his mente, which was his mind, which is in the ablative. Poetically in post-Augustan prose, it's with an A or an ab, or simply the ablative, which is what we saw here in Apuleius. This little bit here, where he's viduous from his mind. He was deprived of his mind. So he's not yet back into his mind. Okay, nam. 4. Et also, navis ipsa, the ship itself, qua female, by which, via Bamo, we were carried, various turbinus, in various whirlwinds or something. Turbines means it's going around, of storms, procellas of storms. And again, we see the navis ipsa qua quasada, these are all appositions. The ship was shaken, and utraque regamine amissos. Misso means we lost. We lost both of our controllers, regamine, as you see from Rex and ruling, controlling, so that's the steering wheel or the rudders. Agri, it's with difficulty, it's an adverb. To the ulterius ripper margin, to the margin, which means the edge of the further shore. Ripper is usually used for riverbanks, but it's obviously the shore of the sea as well. Detrusa, badly beaten. Praecepts, head first. Demersa est, so it sunk. And nos omnibus amissus, again we see amiss, amito, having lost. We lost omnibus, everything. And scarcely we inatavis. Natavis means we swam. Scarcely we were able to swim away. Quodcumque basically means whatever. Vel, yeah, it's going to be vel, correlative. Either by miseration, by the pity of the ignoratum, by the pity of people unknown, or by the bene means good and volentia means will, so by the goodwill emicorum of our friends, which we contraximus, which we drew to ourselves. So by pity of strangers and by the kindness of friends, everything which they drew together, id omne, that's the new this, all, invaded by a manus latricanus. So they were invaded or attacked by a handful or a band of bandits, latrones, quorum audacia, of whose boldness repugnant, so this here goes back to the singular, fighting back, etiam, even arignotus unicus frater meus, that's all opposition. So even my one brother Arignotus, repugnings, fighting back, sub istis oculis, under istos oculis, under these eyes, the miser, this wretch, he was jugulatus est, he had his throat cut before their very eyes, it looks like. Hake, as a scene for like the 9th time, these things, looks like that, this here's a slab of ablatives. Adoc means still, it's a adverb, but the narrante maesto here, so he, narrating maesto gloomily, I want to say. So with him narrating these things still gloomily, Curto ili negotiator, so this Curto, the businessman, he, having corruptus numulus suis, having snatched back up his coins, quod which were destined verad, which had been designed for or determined to be for the payment for these divinations. If you know how these datives and things go. In Protonus, another adverb, immediately he fuged, so he fled away. So he was going to pay for this prophecy, but then he snatched up his coins and ran off. Ac, de hink, tunk, two adverbs there. And de hink means next in turn. Then, demum, another adverb. Finally, diphon eggs. This guy, there's that position, expurgatus. He woke up. He sensed, I guess there's no et between that because that's a past passive. And he sensed the labem, this comes from labour. It usually means some mishappen thing. He sensed the misfortune of his imprudentia, of his, prudentia is a wisdom, imprudentia is the opposite of wisdom. So he woke up here and he sensed that he'd been, by his own stupidity, caused this fault. Cum etiam, when even nos, that's us, who are ad stantes omnis, all of us were standing. This is the present participle plural. Circumsecus is in the secus family. It just basically is the directional here. So all us were standing around. In a clarum caccina, this is a cool word. Caccina, this is like when you're laughing or cackling, basically. So videret, he saw us, Epheus out, laxly standing around in loud cackling laughter, maybe. Almost done. Said tibi plane is the adverb, but to you clearly or plainly. Luci domine, that's the vocative. It's got the second declension e's in it. So Master Lucius, soli omnium, to you alone of all, he the Chaldean has dixerit vera. So looks like he's hoping that to Lucius alone that the Chaldean spoke the truth. And sis qui Felix, and that he might be lucky, and the ita dextermum, we saw the left-hand side was ill-omened. Here the dextermum, the right side, would be very propitious, what do they call it, propitious or something. Have good omens. Porgus, as you continue on or stretch out your journey. That's it for the day.